Hi there. So today I am back at my elementary school, BAM, otherwise known as Arts Magnet. I'm in the garden, and I'm going to be doing a couple readings here today, but the first little snippet that I kind of want to talk about is it's just a tidbit on rap music, because I think that some people, specifically like black males, don't understand what they have done to society. Like, there's so many songs and videos that they've created that have like dehumanized black women in all of these awful ways. And what they don't understand is that, like, in terms of race, black women are a direct reflection of black men. So when they're saying all of these awful things about black women, they don't understand that they're actually saying those things about themselves. So I feel like in so many ways, black women have been fighting back, trying to humanize ourselves. And I think that one of the reasons that this community, specifically of black males, they don't really see or understand the harm that they have done and are doing, is because really nobody holds them accountable. It's just nobody. Like, nobody holds them accountable, and they just feel like, oh, we want to profit from this. But the weird part about it is, and there have been so many studies done on this, once you make about $70,000 a year, anything more than that doesn't really fundamentally improve your quality of life. Um, so these rappers who are making millions and millions of dollars each year, it doesn't really make, like, they're not doing anything with their money, right? Like, not, maybe besides like Jadena and Issa Rae, who like are actually interested in like improving the life of like Africans and have extended beyond colorism in so many ways. But everyone else, they're just like flaunting like diamonds and rhinestones and Lamborghinis and cars, but I don't understand for what. Like, who? I'm like, who? Why do who still finds this valuable? I really have questions. Like, I'm not sure. You know, if you have, like, every person, you can only drive so many cars at one time, right? Like, you can't drive 17 cars every day. You can drive one. You can drive one. And so I get it if you have like two cars that you really like, or maybe this year you like a certain car and next year you like a certain one. But I mean, these guys have so much, and they have access to so many women. And I also think that they've done things where they've given privileges and experiences to really like regular beautiful women. Because there are a lot of beautiful women in society, let's be clear, and they all look very different. So of every race, of every class, of every ethnic group, there are beautiful women. There's no shortage, right? So because these women have had access to these men who have so much, these women now don't find it like useful to partner with average men. It's like if Chris Brown bought you a Birkin bag and a apartment for 3 years, like, what is an average guy gonna do for you? And maybe he wrote a song that like referenced you or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like an artist of that caliber has done all of these things for you and now given you access to this lavish lifestyle. What is it that an average male can do for you? It's almost like he's nothing. He's worth nothing. And so I think that's why so many average men do not have access to any women. So many people have been talking about this, not just me, but it's like, what is it? Like 94% of all men don't have access to like really any women. Like, all of the, like, 94% of the women are chasing 4% of the guys. Some women will settle, but I feel like most actually at this point will not, because especially if they are in America, they can simply provide for themselves. You know, they can find meaningful relationships among friends, hobbies, books, community groups, YouTube channels, whatever it is. They can find some sort of audience without the like requirement of a husband. So then what is marriage at that point? Especially when you have a growing number of women who no longer want to be mothers. That's a real thing. That's why people like Elon Musk are having to have conversations about underpopulation. It's not like, and that's the thing that I've continued to say about any black person really living in America. You should document your experiences. And you should create content because, like, all of the growth on the planet is basically happening in Africa. All of the humans being born, a majority of them, it's like 80% are black and are being born in Africa. So basically, as these black children come online, they will find your channel and they will be able to find your experiences. They just don't have the internet right now. They don't have cell phones. But in 10 years, I'm sure Mark Shittyberg will like make something else that will allow them to get online, and then they will find your content. The reason why white influencers are able to do so well right now is because they have the numbers. Like, all of the white people in the world are in developed portions of the globe because of colonialism. Colonialism is global. Like white people have stolen land from everybody, right? So they have all of the resources. So like there's no white people in a developing country who aren't rich. And that was the whole point of colonialism, and it worked. The only problem is now, like, people of color want their shit back. So it's like India is like, fuck that, we're gonna build our own stuff. Africa's like, fuck that, we're gonna build our own shit. And now that's actually happening. So now it's not, the world is no longer I feel like this is why we have to have now Chris Brown, you know, pandering to black women in all these ways, because he realizes that, first of all, as biracial and light-skinned as he might want to be, he is not a Latino, and the black and Latino communities are just so different and don't like each other. And so Chris Brown is black. And so if Chris Brown wants to have a future, when the future of music, of everything, is Africa and black people, if he's not participating in that community, he doesn't have an audience. Because, like, at no point is white conservative America going to forgive him or let their children in K through 12 knowingly, like, listen to and support Chris Brown, the woman beater, who talks about sex in every song. Like, it's not going to happen, right? Like, that's just not the way that society works. Anyway, so that was just a little spiel. Hopefully one day, you know, black men will understand that, like, they are black and should probably care about the black community and policies that the rest of us are working on to improve the lives of black Americans specifically. It feels like a lost group that nobody gives a shit about, which doesn't make any sense, because it's like, all these rappers and shit are black. Like, at least there's like Chloe and Halle and whoever DDG, whoever the one guy is, who, like, I'm really happy that they exist and occupy space, because hopefully they can encourage Gen Z, or whoever this new generation of black kids are who are in like elementary school or middle school now, can look at that healthy relationship and be like, oh, I want to have that. Because it's so strange to me. Like, I feel like people are looking at television and media and believing that those relationships are their own. Like, okay, so let's say that Drake trots around another year with another supermodel, because he's had all of the supermodels at this point, the white ones, the black ones, the North African ones, the East African ones. I mean, you guys saw my pushback when he was with Helen. I'm sorry, but I don't want him bringing his fuckboy trash into the Habesha community. I just don't want it here. We've done so much work to build a healthy community for ourselves, and it has nothing to do with fuck niggers, and I don't want them there. I don't. We have one safe space, and Chris Brown and Drake's fuckboy ass can go elsewhere. I think they should stay in the Latino community where they are wanted. We don't want them here. I am going to make posters and signs and threats until, you know, I get demonetized or kicked off of all the platforms. I don't care. I'll keep doing it. I'm tired. It's just gone on for so long, and I don't want any Habesha girls growing up believing that those men, first of all, are men, because they're not. They're just trash. And also that we give a shit about them, because we don't. And I wish they would stop putting us in their videos. Like, stop. It made me so upset that like, I like WizKid, okay? Like, I understand he's a colorist and he's a misogynist, all the things, but at least in terms of representation, he gave us positive representation of black women on screen, and he's been doing it for 5 years. I appreciate that. And I can like that. So I did like the one song, Call Me Every Day, with Chris Brown. Now, what I do not like is that, of course, this fuck nigger puts a Habesha in his video. I hated it so much. It made me so upset. Like, why couldn't he just use someone else? Why couldn't he use Anita? or some other bitch. Like, why does he have to put us in? Like, it's like they keep doing it. Just leave us out of the narrative. That's what I want. I want them to leave us out of the narrative 100%. I don't want to be a part of the story. I don't want any representation of it. Just pretend like we don't exist. Pretend like we are not alive, and just make videos that have like busted white girls, or like, I don't know, it should put Lisa from Blackpink in it. Just put anyone else who's not us. Anybody else. I don't even care. Anybody. There's a plus. Put Karechi in there. He's fucking in love with Karechi. Why doesn't he just go to the Philippines and get a whole bunch of brown girls with long straight hair and just put them in his videos and make a whole bunch of songs about them? He can have an audience there. Like, but like, why keep pandering to us? Because like, that's what I don't understand. And I feel maybe that's another thing that's just so sad. It's like, Black American girls, I think they don't get it. Like, who's gonna, if you are stupid enough to pay $1,000 to see him, I think you have mental retardation. You are mentally retarded, and you should seek help. You should get therapy, and you should seek help, because like, Houston, you have a problem. Like, he has literally told you multiple times that he does not appreciate you as a human being. Why would you give this motherfucker any money? It doesn't make any sense at all. One day, others will value their own lives, but until then, I don't know. I don't have anything to say. Honestly, at this point, I don't have anything to give any males at all. I think all the males should just go away. Like, they just, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. They just contribute nothing to society. It's like, as everyone else does all this work to be better and do better, they just don't. It's like they work together to make everything shitty for everyone else. And then we all have to clean it up day after day. It's like, no, you're not a piece of trash. No, you're not a slut. No, it's just all the things. And I'm tired of cleaning up. I'm tired. I feel like all the women collectively are tired of cleaning up. After all the shitty men in society, we're all tired. And this is beyond race. The one thing I have to say that's beyond race is this. Like, on this issue, I support Latino women, white women, Asian women, all the women. I'm on the side of bitches who want to do better. Like, whoever's on that team, I'm on that team too. Okay? I mean, obviously, I support Black women first, but on this particular issue, we can put race aside for a minute, because niggas ain't shit. Like, okay. All right, let's move on to the next topic.